Scary Movie is a 2000 horror comedy spoof film directed by Keenen Ivory Wayans. It is an American dark comedy that heavily parodies the horror, slasher, and mystery genres. Several mid- and late 90s films and TV shows are spoofed, especially Scream, along with I Know What You Did Last Summer, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Sixth Sense, The Usual Suspects, The Matrix, The Blair Witch Project, and Dawson's Creek. The tagline reads "No mercy. No shame. No sequel." The last reference being an ironic nod towards the tendency of popular horror movies becoming cash cow franchises. 2001 saw the release of Scary Movie 2, with the appropriate tagline "We Lied." Later video covers of the first film frequently dropped the tagline's third statement. The film was originally titled Last Summer I Screamed because Halloween fell on Friday the 13th. Scary Movie was followed by 4 more sequels: Scary Movie 2, Scary Movie 3, Scary Movie 4 and Scary Movie 5. Its title serves as a homage to the production title of Scream, which was also released through Dimension Films. Plot: an 18-year-old girl named Drew Decker receives a threatening phone call while home alone one night. Drew is chased outside by Ghostface, who wounds her with a stab to the breast that removes her implant. She is hit by a vehicle driven by her father, who was distracted by oral sex from his wife, and is then killed by Ghostface. The next day, Cindy Campbell meets up with her boyfriend Bobby Prince and her friends, Brenda Meeks, Ray Wilkins, Greg Phillip, and Buffy Gilmore. Various news teams, including hack reporter Gail Hailstorm, converge on the school in the wake of Drew's death. Gail hooks up with Buffy's mentally disabled brother Doofy in hopes of milking the facts out of him. While Cindy is in class, she is left a note reading, "I know what you did last Halloween." She then realizes that Drew was murdered exactly 1 year after she and her friends accidentally killed a man during a wild car ride. The next day a series of increasingly bizarre events take place. Various members of the group receive threatening notes from Ghostface and are rapidly dispatched. Greg is killed by Ghostface in plain view during Buffy's beauty pageant, with the audience mistaking Buffy's screams as being part of her act. Buffy, high on the success brought along by her win, ignores Cindy's warnings about the killer and does not realize she is being killed as it happens, even after she is decapitated. Ray and Brenda go to a showing of Shakespeare in Love, where Ray is stabbed in the ear through a bathroom stall. Ghostface then goes after Brenda. However, angry movie patrons, fed up with Brenda's raucous behavior during the movie, kill her before Ghostface can. Meanwhile, Cindy throws a house party, hoping for safety in numbers. During the party, Bobby and Cindy go upstairs and they have sex, no longer making Cindy a virgin. Ghostface unexpectedly appears and stabs Bobby, before disappearing quickly. Cindy gets a gun from a drawer near the entrance, Bobby follows and she tends to his wounds. Shorty, Brenda's brother, comes up from the basement and informs them that the killer has murdered everybody in the house. Bobby takes the gun and shoots Shorty, revealing that his wound was an elaborate ruse. Ray arrives on the scene, alive. He and Bobby announce their plan to Cindy to kill her and her father. Ray and Bobby also plan to make themselves look like heroes by giving each other stab wounds to indicate they fought back, but the plan backfires when Ray stabs Bobby repeatedly and nearly kills him, furious because his favorite show, The Wayans Brothers, has been cancelled. Ghostface abruptly arrives and attacks Cindy after stabbing Ray, but she successfully subdues him by employing moves copied from The Matrix and kicks him through a window. Nonetheless, Ghostface vanishes before the police arrive. At the police station, Cindy and the local sheriff realize that Doofy, the only one who knew about the car accident, was actually faking his disability and is the true killer. Unfortunately, Doofy has already escaped with Gail Hailstorm. Upon finding his discarded disguise in the street, Cindy begins screaming, only to be knocked by a vehicle. Cast: Parodies. Much of the humor of Scary Movie relies upon specific references to other contemporary films. Roger Ebert remarked in his review that to get your money's worth, you need to be familiar with the various teenage horror franchises. The backstory of the film's plot is modeled after I Know What You Did Last Summer, including the teen's accidental murder of an innocent man on a car ride and Barry's murder on stage. Several elements are borrowed from the Scream franchise, including the character Ghostface, the murder of Drew in the opening scene, the attack in the movie theater was modeled after Scream 2, and the rules of a trilogy video from Scream 3. While smoking marijuana, Shorty quips "I see dead people," the line famously spoken by Oscar nominee Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense. In a chase scene, the film shifts its point of view to that of a handheld camera with the characters speaking directly to the audiences in the Blair Witch Project. The scene in which Ray is about to stab Bobby to make the police believe they were the victims of the killer borrows heavily from a similar scene that takes place during the climax of Scream. The killer says the words "red rum," a reference to The Shining. The line "we all go a little crazy sometimes" is also used, which is taken from Scream quoting Psycho. Many scenes and jokes parody or reference other films outside the horror film genre. The fight between Cindy and the killer heavily mimics The Matrix, particularly its use of bullet time. The final scene, in which Doofy stops feigning his disability and drives away with Gale, is a takeoff of the final scene of The Usual Suspects. When asked about her favorite horror movie, Drew answers Kazam due to Shaquille O'Neal's acting. Cindy becomes aggressive and roars "Say my name." During sex with Bobby, similar to the sex scene between Michelle and Jim in American Pie. A trailer for a fictitious sequel to Amistad titled Amistad 2 appears in the movie theater scene. The film also makes other pop culture references beyond the scope of film, including a brief send-up of Dawson's Creek and a parody of the Harsop ad campaign by Budweiser. Drew's boyfriend at the beginning of the movie, the one she slept with but didn't date, was Prince, who Elektra dated in real life. Rating: in British Columbia, the film Scary Movie was given an 18A rating by the provincial FCO, but was re-rated on appeal by the Motion Picture and Liquor Appeal Board to a 14A. This resulted in a record number of complaints to the British Columbia Film Classification Office from parents who felt the film should have been rated 18A. Many parents wrote letters to their local newspaper warning others that the film may be inappropriate for their 14-year-olds. Theater owners complained about the inappropriate rating as well. Reception: the film received mixed reviews from critics. On Rotten Tomatoes, 54% of critics gave the film a positive review based on 112 reviews. Joe Lydon of Entertainment Weekly gave the film a positive review, remarking that the film was unbounded by taste, inhibition or political correctness, and that the outer limits of A-rated respectability are stretched, if not shredded by the movie. By contrast, Roger Ebert did not find the film as innovative, saying that the film lacked the shocking impact of Airplane, which had the advantage of breaking new ground. However, Ebert did give the film 3 stars out of 4, saying it delivers the goods, calling the film a raucous, satirical attack on slasher movies. Bob Longino of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution felt that the film's crude humor detracted from the film, saying that Scary Movie dives so deep into tasteless humor that it's a wonder it landed an R rating instead of an NC-17. Other reviewers, such as A.O. Scott of the New York Times, argued that the jokes were annoying less for their vulgarity than for their tiredness. Scott remarked in his review, "Couch-bound pot smokers, prison sex, mannish female gym teachers, those Haas Budweiser commercials, hasn't it all been done to death?" Soundtrack: the soundtrack to Scary Movie was released on July 4, 2000 through TVT Records and consists of a blend of hip-hop and rock music. Track listing: Too Cool for School 227, The Inevitable Return of the Great White Dope 353, Stay 356, The Only Way to Be 320, My Bad 322, Punk Song Number 2246, Everybody Wants You 411, Superfly 255, I Wanna Be Sedated 231, Scary Movies 356, All Bout You 434, I Want Car 437, What 503, Feel Me 349, I'm the Killer 357, see also. Shriek If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th, a parody of horror movies, Student Bodies, a parody of horror movies, Stan Helsing, a parody of horror movies. References External links: official website, Scary Movie at the Internet Movie Database, Scary Movie at AllMovie, Scary Movie at Box Office Mojo, Scary Movie at Rotten Tomatoes, Scary Movie at Metacritic.